Oh yeah, welcome back to the letters. I do the same thing every time.
Eddie Alguera, one of the finest skateboarders in America, really.
And that's fun. He's invented about 5 new maneuvers this year all by himself. There's a sliding fakie rock and roll, really difficult maneuver. He's the first one I've ever seen do that maneuver.
We're here with Eddie El Gato Alguera, and we're trying to get to the bottom of going backwards, taking it to Fakie, the origin of switch.
Eddie Alguera, he's the #1 man right now on the Pro Series.
You guys do frontside inverts? This is the guy. He's why. All of you who think frontside rock and rolls are so wonderful, this is the guy. Fakie ollies, you ever done one of those? This is the guy. He's why.
Really, when I turned pro in June of '79, I did the Alguera frontside rock fakies, board slide fakies, fakie ollies, all by the end of the year.
It seems like the first tricks that were done, there was a lot of slide maneuvers that were going on.
Once you learned a trick to go backwards, you had to learn a trick to come out of it. Instead of just going backwards, hitting tile, you had the Alguera, you had to do tail stall and do something to get out of it to get into another trick instead of just faking to nothing. I remember the one trick that everybody did was the fakie layback.
I know Losi gets credited for the air to fakie. Caballerials were 360 ollies.
Yeah.
It wasn't called the Caballero then. Actually, Stacy Peralta named it the Caballero.
Fakie going backwards, then you
It was just weird calling a trick after a name.
Yeah, and that fakie to fakie invert thing he did was insane. It's basically a switch egg. And then Gibson showed up, with the fakie ollie hang up, going in with no hands, and there's no nose. And then all of a sudden, it kind of comes, it regenerates at about 85, 86. Then you've got the Gracholskis and the Schroeders, Dan Wilkes and these types of people, And right around that time the mini ramp shows up. So a lot of this stuff's coming out of mini ramp land and being adapted to, vert skating. And around the time the mini ramp shows up is around the time that street skating is starting to get popularized. And then that takes you into a whole world that I know nothing about because I went to the bar, man. I couldn't keep up. I wanted to get laid, I couldn't get laid. I went to the bar, I climbed into a bottle. And then switch happened. We'll have to ask Salman to sit down because he really gets the moniker of the godfather of switch and stuff.
For me, skate and switch was a combination of things, Mainly, it was I was this fat kid. I couldn't really grab my board, and I wasn't interested in street plants.
It must have been so weird for Salman Aga to just go learn all that shit and not have anyone to do it with. Salman didn't have anybody there telling him this is good or whatever. He's just making the shit up as he goes. Anybody under the age of 27, 28, 29, 30, they have no idea how important Salman was to us.
I can't even remember everyone who was involved in that, but pretty much most street skaters were either trying it or figuring out that they didn't like it. It's like putting a flame on brown grass. I mean, it's it just blew, you know, it just went crazy. I think skateboarding is at a place right now where it's just, in my opinion, so gnarly that like it really doesn't matter whether it's switch or regular.
Yeah, go backwards. Party. Push Mongo. Out and out.
But I mean, I would get to the spot and I couldn't warm up because I couldn't grind the rail first. You know, I had to like just go at it, switch, and just be like, all right, I guess I just gotta jump on this thing backwards. And like, that's why there's so many slams, because I would just have to like go for it and be like, I just gotta jam it in dry and fucking see what happens.